The house smelled like cedar and old paper, the kind of smell that sticks to you and doesn't leave even when everyone else has gone. Moved slowly through the rooms after the funeral, my hands brushing over the edges of furniture my husband had chosen, my fingers tracing the lines as if they could hold onto him a little longer. The silence pressed against me, heavy but familiar, and I let it settle. That's when my sister arrived. She came in without knocking. She always had when she thought the world owed her entry. Her face was calm, too calm. There was something calculated in her smile that made me stiffen. She didn't start with condolences. Instead, she said, rehearsed, sometimes twice, is your husband's. According to the will, I get half the house, which is worth $2 million, held her gaze for a beat, then nodded soft and almost automatic. Huh, okay. My voice was calm, reflective. Beneath it, though, something tight and precise clicked into place inside me. She was expecting shock, tears, anger. She wanted me to crumble. But I didn't. Not here. She continued, filling the room with words that floated and clanged against my composure. I could feel her excitement, the sense of power she thought she had. I kept moving through the living room, brushing a hand across the couch, letting her words hang in the air like dust motes. Flashbacks came unbidden. I remembered the small, private moments, the late night talks with my husband, the quiet laughter over burnt toast, the way he'd always place his hand over mine when something hurt. I remembered my sister, too, standing nearby at family gatherings with her sharp smile, eyes calculating. I'd always noticed the subtle envy, the whispered comparisons. It had been there all along, quietly simmering beneath her surface civility. Her voice brought me back. Can't just ignore this, she said. The will is clear. Half the house. I nodded again. Ha! The pause stretched. I let it. Her expectation of drama, of confrontation, felt almost comical in its predictability. I felt a strange mix of amusement and quiet grief. Husband was gone, yet somehow I could feel his steadiness in me, his trust in me, in my ability to navigate life without him. Anchored me. We sat in silence for a while, and I realized that the real power hadn't shifted to her, was still with the executor of the will, the legal authority who controlled the distribution. Later that day, when she tried to push, executor quietly explained the terms and clarified the boundaries. There was no yelling, no theatrics, no humiliating confrontation, just facts clear and undeniable. My sister's claim didn't evaporate entirely, but it was contained. The house, my husband's home, remained under my stewardship. I walked through the rooms later, alone again, the air thick with memory. The light slanted through the windows in the late afternoon, highlighting the dust on the shelves. The photographs, frozen in their frames, traced my husband's handwriting in old letters, letting the sensation ground me. I thought about the quiet victory, dignity I hadn't had to fight for loudly or aggressively. It was small, uncelebrated, but it existed. The day ended with me standing at the doorway of our bedroom, looking at the empty spaces he had left behind. My sister's shadow lingered in the corners of my mind, the betrayal still a pulse under my skin, but I felt my own pulse stronger, steady, and sure. I could not undo what had happened, but I could navigate what was coming next. I had control in ways that mattered, even if the emotional scars of betrayal remained. And so I stayed, letting the house breathe around me, memory and silence coexist. My husband was gone, my sister had overstepped, and I had endured. That was enough. For now.